If you're responsible for brand protection specifically on Amazon, you need to know how can you utilize Amazon's takedown mechanism. Takedown mechanisms across the web were created under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, and each platform has a different system. As long as the platform has a system, they avoid liability. Amazon's system is different from eBay's Vero system, which is different from Alibaba's system, but specifically on Amazon, since it is such a Goliath in retail in the United States, you need to know specifically how to utilize Amazon's takedown mechanism. But before you get to their takedown mechanism, there are several steps you need to know that are incredibly effective at protecting your brand from unauthorized sales. First, you need to be able to efficiently, effectively, and in a way that you can scale to all of your products, monitor all of the listings on Amazon. On Amazon, each product has a page in its catalog called a listing. It's assigned a number called an ASIN, an ASIN, and we use an incredible software solution where we get daily reports for each and every product that we are monitoring. You need to do the same thing. You have to automate. It has to be scalable. Number two, once you have your software solution in place and you're getting a report of the unauthorized sellers, you need to know how to write an effective cease and desist communication specifically tailored to Amazon sellers. Now, every single Amazon seller, and I speak to between 10 and 20,000 sellers every single year, every single one of them, large and small, lives with the same fear: their account being suspended. When Amazon suspends a seller's account, their inventory is frozen, their money is frozen. Amazon continues to hit them with storage fees for products in Amazon's warehouses. And if they had borrowed money from Amazon, Amazon not only expects those payments to continue to be made, but Amazon may choose to advance the note. Many brands don't know this. Some of the information that we have from sellers includes that Amazon will not just go after the seller's corporation if they default on an Amazon loan. Even though Amazon never gets personal guarantees, Amazon will often go after the seller personally. Sellers know this, and this adds to their fear. After you have sent a cease and desist communication written specifically for Amazon sellers, then a very effective way of protecting your brand is to give the sellers the opportunity to amicably stop selling your product. In your C&D, you should notify the seller why they can't sell your product, why your product is outside the first sale doctrine, why your warranty makes it impossible for a third-party seller to deliver the same host of benefits with your product that the brand can deliver, and let them amicably stop selling. From time to time, you will receive an email. We receive dozens of emails and phone calls from Amazon sellers looking to work out an arrangement to divest themselves of the inventory and then stop selling. Oftentimes, brands will allow them to sell minimal amounts of inventory. Other times, brands will say no. And also, some of the larger brands will actually buy back the seller's inventory to make sure there are no hard feelings, and more importantly, that seller doesn't do anything to harm the brand's reputation. Last but not least, before you get to the takedown mechanism, is to make sure that you have legitimate grounds to remove that seller. I strongly suggest to brands all over the world, never make a false counterfeit complaint. If you do that, the seller will then have leverage against the brand, because a false counterfeit complaint means that seller has legal claims against the brand. It is much better to first build in a legitimate grounds or identify legitimate grounds. Now we're going to move on to how to utilize Amazon-specific takedown mechanism. What you're looking at right now on the screen is the incredibly simplistic online form that Amazon requires you to make in order to make an intellectual property right complaint, an IP complaint on its system. This is Amazon's takedown mechanism. It is the least robust of any other platform in the world. You don't even have to prove that you own any rights in anything in order to assert a complaint. The most important thing that brand managers need to know, The most important thing that anyone in brand protection needs to know when you're making a complaint on Amazon is what words not to include. Amazon staff in India, who I have personally interviewed, dozens of different members of Amazon staff in Hyderabad, India, is that they accept every single complaint as absolutely true. They always take the brand side so that Amazon is fully protected under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. But what you do need to know is there are certain words that you should absolutely not include. Never include the word distribution, never include the word authorization, never include a reference to MAP pricing, never include anything having to do with the seller being authorized versus unauthorized. What you need to do is to focus on what the consumer receives, that they're not receiving the same benefits. If the product, the third-party seller, was truly counterfeit, Amazon takes that complaint very, very seriously. They also take very seriously well-worded complaints of trademark violation and copyright violation. If you'd like to learn more about how we protect brands the right way, where we do not needlessly risk the brands having any harm from third-party sellers who are improperly attacked, how we do brand protection the right way, contact me for a consultation. In advance of our meeting, my team and I will review your product. We will have a list of the unauthorized sellers, and at our first meeting, whether it's in person, by Zoom, or by telephone, we will have some ideas in advance that you can use to protect your brand from unauthorized sales, specifically on Amazon.